So it seems as if they've actually completed the exterior surface, the construction of the exterior surface of the building, and they have taken down the construction fence that prevented us from actually seeing the building, at least most of the construction fence. There's a small portion of it that is still, that is a small portion of the fence that is still up, right, in that area, preventing you from seeing the construction, the complete building itself. But this is what it looks like from the parking lot. The thing is, it was always a very modest, um, very modest, a very small, ambitious, right? It was not a very ambitious building, right? Particularly given the fact that the traffic through this airport will probably more than double or triple in the coming years. This is in fact a very modest attempt at renovation. And I pointed out very early, if you go back to the archives, you can see my criticism of the attempt at renovating this airport, that it actually requires a new terminal building that is commensurate with the, the ambitions of the country. The fact that this is in fact the only, or well, it's the only international airport now that can handle traffic from Europe and North America and so on. But that it should be bigger, it should be much more ambitious. And hopefully they've gotten that message and it will be implemented in the new terminal building that's planned. But this is a sweeping picture, viewpoint of what it looks like from this angle. In the distance, you can see, right in the distance, you can see that is the Marriott, Courtyard Marriott there in the distance. And if we sweep, we pan left, that is towards the east, you can see that's the Skybridge area, right? From the Marriott to the Skybridge, that is the arrivals, right? The CJIA International Airport arrivals terminal building. And then this is the new dining lounge area. It's a new addition. And beyond this Lotus restaurant is the departure area. But like I said, it's probably very modest compared to what we should be building. This new building, which is now clearly a multi-story, let's see, 1, 2, 3 floors already completed. They might be putting on a partial 4th floor at the top. But I understand this new building is going to be where the airport management is going to be located. So this building is for airport management. I doubt whether this is the new terminal, but they are planning to build a new terminal, and I don't know where it's going to be located. But this is supposed to be the new airport management. Remember, they actually had to demolish a lot of the vendors' stalls along this area. Right, this is the front entrance to the airport. Right, the front entrance to the CJIA International Airport. And what they did in the beginning, before they constructed this building, is to demolish the vendors area, and they covered it with these walls. These concrete walls are painted in bright colors. The problem with that is that they eliminated the livelihoods of dozens of vendors who sold food and snacks along the entrance, around the entrance to the airport. And so if you're on the outside, there's really no place to get something to eat except what these vendors provided right? These vendors provided food for a lot of the airport visitors. They were demolished, and my assumption was that this was going to be the replacement kind of mall where they place these vendors in. But I've now been informed that this is in fact part of the administrative offices. This is an office building basically for the airport. So a lot of the administrative offices will be in this building, as this new building that's being constructed here on the outside of the airport complex. But at the east end, which is where we're heading now, there is also some new construction, and that's attached to the departure area. Again, I'm not too sure what this new construction is. My assumption is probably more uh, offices for processing airline what it airline check-in, right? Because the check-in area is pretty small. This is where it is right now, behind this fence. My assumption is that because of its proximity to the departure area, that it might be more check-in counters or processing of luggage and so on. Eventually, luggage from this area has to be taken onto the plane. So my assumption is that any new, all right, this is the departure area. And because of its proximity to the departure area, I'm assuming that this new construction is related, right? It's probably more of the check-in counters. But I don't know yet. We're gonna eventually learn what these buildings, this new addition is all about. It doesn't seem to have made a lot of progress though since the last time we were here. The construction of this part of the airport still seems to be almost exactly the way it was the last time we were here. Right, there's not a whole lot that's changed. But I guess eventually it's all going to be made redundant if they build a new terminal. In other words, if they're building a new airport terminal and they're going to scrap this old terminal, then I can understand the lack of enthusiasm in completing these old construction projects. But it did, in fact, seem piecemeal and less than polished. And so I'm quite happy that they've decided to build a new terminal, and hopefully it will be one large architectural structure that is cohesive and that has all of the facilities of a modern airport as you find elsewhere in the world, like Shanghai or Beijing, or even Changi, which is one of the best airports in the world. But this is what's happening here, guys. This is the airport at Timeri, Chedi Jagan International Airport. If you want to see more content like this, click like and subscribe. Share this video with friends and family around the world. Let people know what's happening here in the fastest growing country, the fastest growing economy in the world, Guyana. Later! Let's see if you can head back into the airport complex itself. But this is what's happening here on the outside.